You know what really just always makes me frustrated is when I'm waiting for an email from somebody and I found out they sent it, but I had no idea because I totally missed it. And it took me either like a day or two, or sometimes even a week to even realize it was sent. So what we're going to do today is we're going to walk through a process that will help you not have that happen to you, because it's always frustrating when you miss an email. But we can set up things to where if you're expecting an email or you know a certain person emails you, that you'll get a notification and be able to see that email right away. So let's go ahead. We're going to hop over. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that, and then we're going to get started. So my name is Josiah Phillipson, and before we hop in, I do want to remind you guys that we are consultants. So if you're having any issues with setting up these notifications or any issues in your business, feel free to reach out to us at support@nexttechconsultants.com. And you can also reach out to us on our social media platforms. We have Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're all NextTechNT. So like I said, I do appreciate you joining. What we're going to do is we're going to go through how to set up notifications for your email. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over just general Windows notifications, so that way you see them when they come in. The second thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about creating rules to mark certain emails important and moving them to the top of your inbox. Finally, we're going to talk about getting text message alerts based on certain rules inside of Outlook. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna hop over to the computer and we're gonna start talking about notifications. All right, so on your Windows computer, what we're gonna talk about first is notifications. So what you're gonna do, if you're on Windows 10, it's a little bit different, but you're following the same steps. You're gonna click on the start menu and you're gonna choose settings. If it doesn't show up right there, go ahead right here in the search menu, just type in settings and it'll take you there. So then we're gonna go down, click on system first. Windows 10 automatically has you there. Then we're going to click on notifications. In this notification area, you want to make sure that notifications are turned on. Then you can go through and you can kind of choose which notifications you want. Obviously for this one, we want to make sure the Outlook is turned on. And then you can scroll through the rest and see which notifications you want to pop up on your system. You also have Focus Assist, which Focus Assist is really like just allowing you to set certain times where notifications either show up or they don't show up. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off for the sake of this. And then we're going to go back to notifications and we're going to look at our Outlook notifications. So the choices you have here is notifications are on. Do you want it to show notification banner, which what that means is when it comes in, it'll pop up in the bottom right corner, kind of where my picture is on the screen. The next thing is the notifications in Notification Center. So when you click on Notification Center, I'll show you that in a minute, it's going to show these notifications or not. Then do you want them to show up on the lock screen? Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. In emails, you might not want to, so people don't see the emails that are coming in. Do you want them to play a sound or not? And then you can say, hey, is this priority emails? I typically say, hey, this is my top priority. I want to see the emails that come in. And that's how you set up the notifications. The other important part, and it's kind of a weird spot where they put this, but it's in accessibility and it's under visual effects. And there's a spot that says, hey, how long before it dismisses the notification? Do you want it to show up for 5 seconds, 7, 15, 30 seconds, 1 minute, or 5 minutes? So it's your choice. Go ahead and choose how long you want that notification to pop up. And this notification they're talking about is the one that, like I said, it's going to show up right where my picture is on the screen. It's going to pop up for however long this is set, and then it's going to disappear. So it gives you a chance to choose whether you want to see it longer or not. All right, and as you can see here, my notifications are turned on, and when I got my email, it popped up over here in the corner. I moved my camera so you could see it. The other thing it did is it brought up a little one down here that says, hey, now you have one new notification. So once this disappears and you can't see it anymore, what you can do is you can dismiss it. And what we can do is we can click on our little time in this notification center, and it's going to show up right here in my notifications. And there's also another one because there's other notifications showing up. Since Outlook is my top priority, that's coming up to the top. It's also my most recent one, so just keep that in mind. Finally, if it didn't show up and the one's not there, you can still click on your calendar as long as you have notifications turned on, and the notification center will show up. So that's notifications in Windows. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna switch over and we're gonna talk about creating a rule to make those emails that are important from people to show up at the top of your email inbox. The reason you wanna do this is because sometimes, even with notifications, if every single email is being notified, you might not catch it and you might still miss it. So we're gonna go over to switch to Outlook and we're gonna show you how to create that rule. All right, so there are multiple ways to create rules. And the reason we're doing this in the Outlook web app is because if you do it on the Outlook desktop app, what's going to happen is that Outlook app has to be open for the rule to initiate. So any rules that you want to initiate all the time, like an important email notification or an important email rule, you're going to want to make sure you do that in the web app. So to get there, you go to outlook.office.com, you log in with your email account, and it'll bring you to here. So we're gonna go up to settings up here. We're gonna click on view all Outlook settings. And I do have a video that goes over rules in more details. So go ahead and click that if you'd like. It's gonna pop up here in the screen so you can click that and watch it and come back. So if you go to settings, mail, rules, and you're gonna click add a new rule. We're gonna call this a rule for important senders. And we're gonna select a condition. We're gonna wanna say from, and we're gonna choose Sunny, and we're gonna click it. So any message that comes from Sunny is now going to have something happen to it. The action I want it to do is I wanna say mark with importance. We're gonna say high importance. So then you have the option here to stop processing more rules or not. I'm actually gonna uncheck that because later we're gonna create another rule for text messaging, and I want that to happen also. So we're gonna click save. And now, anytime Sunny sends me a new message, it's gonna come in as important. So now that you're in your inbox, what you can do to see those is you can say filter sort, and you can sort them by importance. And so what that's gonna do is gonna bring every high message right here. And that's the rule we created. So it's gonna bring it to the top. So you'll wanna make sure when you're reading your emails that you just quickly say, hey, sort to importance, check through those, and then bring the filter off. So that way you can still see them by date and they don't get missed. If they don't have an importance, and you'll see them up here. So that's how you make sure you're getting those emails with the rule and marking them important. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go over text messaging and how to get a text message to you based off of that rule. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back to settings, view all Outlook settings. I'm gonna click on rules, and you can see here we have important senders, the one we just created. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a new rule. I'm gonna call this send text message. And we're gonna say alert a condition when if it's from Sunny again. We're gonna select an action to forward to an email address. The important part about this email address is that you're gonna forward it based on the four main carriers that are out there, at least in this area. If you have a different carrier, you might need to research and find out what it is, or you can use Zapier and Twilio to kind of make this rule. And if you need a video for that, go ahead and mark in the comments below. I can work on that a little bit later. But right now, we're gonna go over the four main carriers. So if you have T-Mobile, let's say your number is 971222222. If you have T-Mobile, you're gonna put at tomomail.net. And that's gonna then forward this message to your phone based off of that. All right, now let's say that you're not with T-Mobile and you're with AT&T. You're gonna put your same phone number in and you're gonna say at txt.att.net. Now, if you're with Sprint, you're gonna do at messaging.sprint.com. And that'll send it to your Sprint carrier. Finally, if you're with Verizon, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put in vtext.com, and then Verizon will then forward it to your phone, just like all those other carriers. And I'm with Verizon, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave vtext.com. This is not a real number, in case you're wondering. So now I want it to stop processing rules. And that's really important that you didn't check that in the other one, because rules will process in the order they're listed in your rules list. And I want it to stop processing rules at this point, because what I don't want it to do is get moved into a folder later. So click that, make sure you have it in this little box. If it's not, did you see I just clicked in the box and clicked on the contact and it moved into real email. So we're gonna click save. And here's what's really important. Notice if I do this rule and I get something from Sunny, since I said stop processing, it will send this text and it will stop. So I wanna actually move this down. So then it says mark it important, send a text message. And that's how you get your text message. All right, guys, so what we've done now is we've gone over how to create notifications and make sure they're showing up on your Windows desktop. We've also gone over how to create a rule in your email to mark it as important, and then how to view it as an important first, and that email will show up top. The other thing we did, after it's marked important is I showed you how to make sure that message sends you a text. So if this has helped you out in any way, make sure to let me know in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. It really does help us create more content like this to help support you and your business. So the important thing though, like I mentioned earlier, is that you do this rule inside of the Outlook web app, not on your desktop, because that rule may not show up in the web app and it will not be processed. So just make sure you're doing that. Sometimes it works in both, but I've had cases where I've created it in the desktop app and it doesn't show up on the web. So just make sure you do it on the web. If you have any questions, always feel free to reach out to us. If you had issues setting this up for yourself, you can email us to support@nextstepconsultants.com. And I look forward to seeing you next time. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. See you guys later.